Okay, good afternoon, gents. Hope all is well. Market has just opened, so I was a bit late. I was in that trade at the moment. I decided to do another evaluation, and I saw that we had a leg up. Beautiful second entry long. We had a few touches along here. So, on the evaluation, I traded on 10 contracts on a limit order I got on here. So I got 2.25 points, which is $1,150. So I got out around about here. There's a little bit of resistance along there, so I didn't want to push it. So let's see how we get on this. So I hope everyone had a good day yesterday. It's Friday today, so it's the last day of the week. We had some news earlier, employment claims. Nothing really happened. The bar's a little bit bigger, but I don't really think it had a massive impact. ATR's relatively low or relatively normal, so let's have a look. Let's see if we get a maybe a second entry. There's a nice big bullish bar on the NQ, but it's just triggered above there and come down. So we had a leg up, a bit of sideways. It looked like a bull flag. Another reason I decided to take that and go for the 10 contracts. I thought it was worth it. Valuations are quite cheap at the moment. Is it Thursday? Oh, Thursday. Sorry, miles away. Sorry, mate. How you doing, Chris? How you doing? So, yeah, another reason I took that, it looked like a bull flag. We had a leg up. It was a sort of rising wedge, wasn't it? Bull flag, whatever you want to call it. But it does look like it's pushing up again. So a quick $1,150. Usually I've got it on 4 contracts at the moment, but I saw that and thought it was an absolute steal, an absolute beauty. So we had a lovely leg up. A beautiful second entry long. We touched a few times here, touched there, and when we touched twice there, I thought that's just worth it. Too good to turn down. So, Nomad J, how you doing, bud? How you getting on? How you getting on yours, on your evals? Great trade. Yeah, I thought it was a nice one. That I thought we're at least going to get up here. So what I did is I'll show you. I took it on a limit order, which was here. What I did, I had it set on 4, and I thought I'd double up because it was that good, and I thought I'd add 2 to it because I didn't want to miss out on that because I thought it was a really good setup. So I got in, I suppose, if you average around here on a limit order. So I wanted to sort of get out before these highs. I think it's still likely it's going to go up, but you know, I don't mind taking a little bit riskier trades on an eval. So there is a possible second entry long, but this, to me, there's a big bullish bar there which triggered, and that looks to me like that stop has just got taken out here it has. So probably not advisable to get in here because there is quite a bit of resistance along there. So I'm kind of glad I got out when I did. I did at the time was thinking about holding to up this level here, but I thought let's just not push me luck. 2.2 points on 10 contracts. It's $1,150, so it's a fair old chunk of that 3,000 there. So, but yeah, it was nice that we went up to this level anyway. We got 1, 2, 3 touches there, 4, 5, 6. So let's see what goes on here. So we got this bit of a channel here. We've had a push up. So let's just, I might have to get this back on the screen actually at some point, put it somewhere properly. Let's put it there at a minute. So it's hard to say at the moment. Perhaps we're just having a couple of legs back and then we're going to push up again. I mean, there is a second entry long there, but there is a lot of support along here. So I think it's, well, I think it's a bit risky going along into that. It's not a perfect signal bar, although it's in the top third, but that stop's just got taken out. So 1, it's 2.5. If that was sat on here, then it may consider it, but you can see there's a load of support there. Maybe we get 2 legs and then it pushes through. We'll see. So there's your first entry if you're going for that one. The second entry is out anyway. Excuse me, this is pushing up quite bullish. Trouble is, it's just a higher low that, Trouble is, there's a bit of support again, so I don't know if I want to go long into that, really. That might just turn down. It may push up, but it is a higher low, but there's such a lot of support there, I think it might be a bit risky.
Order filled.
It seems to be pushing up there, so let's just go for a bit, maybe. Can you still pass an Apex challenge in one day? No, not at the moment, bud. Not at the moment. Let me have a look. It's a bit more risk than I wanted there. Pretty sure that's going to push up for a new high, so there is going to be some stops there. So if it does hit that, I think that's probably okay to hold, actually. I think that's probably going to smash through there. Let's see. I'm not prepared to risk it, though. I'm just going to leave it at break even. If it works, it works. We're very close.
Target
Let's
filled.
just come out for another $200. It's probably going to smash through it, but it was a $500 risk there, so that bar was quite big. I'm pretty sure it's going to push above there, but I've had that good win, so I don't want to push me luck. What was the risk? No. It was quite a big risk, actually. My 4 contracts, yeah, so it was a near $500 risk. So if that gets above there, I expect a quick push. There's going to be some stops here, no doubt. Maybe people thinking about picking tops for the day, probably. So I'm glad I got out there because that went up, whatever it went up. I got in on a limit order about here, so that went up 3.75 points. And then it came down a lot as well. So that's the problem when you're trading large contracts. It went down 5, so that would have taken you out. So I'm glad I got out there because there is some resistance. I thought if we can get 2 legs back, then we might have another push up. What the rules for passing them at the moment? 7 days, do whatever you like. 10 contracts, trade the news. No real rules, to be honest with you. You know, I know some people, if they get some news, they'll right click, open another chart, trade one of their evals going long at 6.25 points and vice versa going short. I know some traders who do that, and it usually, I think 9 times out of 10, it'll either shoot up or shoot down and hit the 6 points. 6.25 points. A bit about 6 points is 3,000, but the 25 points gives you an extra $125 minus fees, which if you've got to go for another 6 days, it allows you to just take a tick micro every day without sort of taking any risks. So I like that. It is a higher low. It's sort of visually 2 legs back as well. What did I get out for that for? Wasn't much, was it? 325, 45. It was just a quick point. So I didn't want to push me luck. I was pretty sure it was going up, but you just don't know whether it's going to come back because of this support. Why are you moving your target profit? Why are you moving your target profit? Why? Because of this support here. It came up, you just don't know, so I just took a quick point. I'd had a good win there and I didn't want to push me luck, so this is an evaluation, by the way, so I'm a little bit more risky with these. But it was a $500 risk, so there is a lot of support here, so you don't know when it's going to break out a bit and fail. So in all fairness, on a PA account, I wouldn't have taken that trade because of the amount of support there. Although I had a fair idea, it's just what Macca call more of a more of aggressive trade. I tend to not be so aggressive on my PAs, but evaluations I don't mind. There's a lot more at stake on your PAs, but it's $33 for that. So see, straight away I expected that to break above there, but it hasn't done, and it's come down pretty quick. So where did I get out? I got out there, so I'm kind of glad I got out now, because I'll be shocked if that doesn't. So what did it go up another? It went up another. You'd have got another 1.5 out of it. So I was quite happy with the point there. It's getting very close to the tops. So as I say, it is an evaluation. So sometimes I just want to get in and out. But I'll be amazed if that. Yeah. So it went up an extra 1.5. So I'm okay with that. I'm quite happy chipping away. So it's a higher low. This point plus 1. Okay. Just a quick scalp there. So at least I got 3.25. It's been a while since I've had that. I thought was lovely. Really nice solid trade. That really nice, lovely leg up. We've had a break and a beautiful higher low. That's just fitting really nice there. Touching there, touching once, twice. It's just fitting nice. And there is a higher low there if you want to take that higher low. And even if you'd have taken the higher low, which was slightly higher, you know, there was still 4 points in it. So I think there's a good chance we may be ranging at the moment, which we seem to do such a lot of blooming time at the moment. So so yeah, we are getting close to the highs, but I absolutely love that. I'd take trades like that. Trades like that just don't fail. Those real obvious ones, really nice leg up. They just don't fail. So we got channel there with a break, 2 legs. Lovely second entry long, came right the way back down. Whether it triggered that bar or something and then pushed up nice and strong, finished on its highs. They just don't fail, those trades. So what? Yeah, rules. So yeah, there's no rules really, mate. You just got to hit $3,000. Obviously, you can't hit your drawdown, but you can trade the news. You can trade up to 10 contracts. You can do whatever you want, really. However you want to do it. Okay, so that's a bit too far for a lower high. So, mind you, it is in there, but it's there is quite a bit of support along there. See it there. Or even if you want to go up a touch, that's probably even better. Beautiful. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 touches there. And we've touched there, so probably don't want to go short there. It may work, but if we are going to come down at the bottom, I'd probably expect a break at the moment. There's quite a bit of support. I didn't count those two. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 touches of that line. So I'd expect a bit of a break here. So I've done that last micro today and another micro, so that one will turn into a PA count tomorrow. So let's have a look what this is doing. So we got a leg down, 2 legs up, maybe a leg and a leg. There. Maybe a leg and a leg, I think, is feasible. If we've got a bit of a channel here, we've had a break of it. Depends how you draw that channel, whether you think this is it. In which case, I'd expect it to come down for a new low. So if we can get a second entry short from here, Okay, so we got a break. Let's see how we get on here. Nice looking bar there, but it is only a first entry. Sometimes they work. If the base of that bar is tight under there, sometimes I'll have a go at them. But this is a little bit unclear at the moment, so I'm staying out of this. Okay, there's our first entry. No, don't come down anymore. Get back up a bit more. Okay, I hadn't reloaded. Okay, let's get another quick push up. Okay. Strong, getting weaker and weaker and weaker. I'd say this is probably going to drop. Maybe not. Okay. Tempted on here. Possible second entry short. My slight concern is this is above the EMA at the moment. Until it pushes strongly below, I can't take a short. Just looking at the 1,000 tick chart up here, we've got this channel down, 2 attempts to go higher, so this looks kind of nice. This actually looks lovely. Trouble is, this is still above the EMA at the moment, so I've got conflicting pictures. This is looking bearish. And at the moment, it's a bit congested here. Really nice channel on the 1,000 tick chart. 2 beautiful attempts closed just below the EMA. looks really nice. The trouble is, at the moment, this, until it closes below, let's see if that would have gone for 2 points. Yeah, it's still holding above the EMA, so that could push up. So, in all fairness, there is a chance that we could just be in a range at the top here, in which case that may push up and take out some shorts, because I'm damn sure there's going to be some in there. Especially how this is holding. So I like the fact that this is keeping me out of a possible trade here. The bar wasn't brilliant, but it is a second entry short, and it's tried to go higher twice and failed. So it's hard to say at the moment. And it's congested as well. Yeah, at the moment, this to me doesn't look like a market that's coming down. So if you'd have taken that one, you wouldn't have got your points and you'd have got stopped out. If you'd have taken any of those, you'd have got stopped out. Now, if this thing was looking really bearish, then I may have had a go at one of these. But while that's showing bullish, that's really why I like this. I mean, that, on a 1,000-tick chart, traders would have taken that one. Man, if I wouldn't have seen this or this, I'd have taken that myself, because it looks beautiful. We got on a really nice leg down there, 2 really nice legs up, and a follow. You know, made one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, and it failed. It actually came down pretty low. You'd have got 1.5 points out of it, but no more. But I don't know. You call it a scalp. A scalp generally, if you follow Mac, is based on a point, but if you'd have gone a tick below there, so you'd have got a scalp, and that's it really. But there is, you can see that bit of what's it along there, congestion, support along there. You can clearly see it. So I have a little sheet of paper on mine, look left. So I mean, there is enough space to get out for a point, but there is a lot of support along there. So as nice as that looked, just because of that support, would have kept me out of it, especially with this looking bullish at the moment. So I do like the idea of having these different aspects to look at. And there's clearly a lot of I have enough trouble taking trades on one chart. I always find the reason to stay out of it. I have 3 charts on my screen. I would always find a reason never to take a trade. Do you know what Max said to me once? Don't look for a reason to take a trade. Look for a reason not to take it. But see, this was looking like we may have another leg down, but I can't deny the fact that we've got 10 touches over there, so that rings me alarm bells about going short. That looked really nice on the 1,000 tick, but this looked like it was starting to go bullish, so I've got a bullish feel and a bearish feel. So while I have conflicting ones, I tend to keep out of a trade. Now, if that one had looked a bit more bearish, I may have been tempted, but I am aware. I mean, that you have to take into consideration that support along there anyway. Now, Mac doesn't really talk about support and resistance. He does say going into the lows, but obviously there's a lot. You can clearly see it's support that it's resisting that, and that it's support across here. And with this looking, I mean, that looked nice. You can't. I mean, if you saw that on a If you didn't have any support along here, if you saw that, that would be a nice trade to take. 2 clear legs up. Trades like that work all the time. And bearing in mind, it went for 1.25, but it didn't go no more. But because we've been up and we've already come down to this sort of same level, and it's hit it 3 times, so I love having the NQ because sometimes it gives you they do the same thing, but not necessarily right at the same time. So I kind of like the way that kept me out of any possible trade. So I kind of like having this. This is just out of pure interest. I hear lots of people talking about the 1,000 tick, the 3,000 tick, the 4,000 tick. What I thought I might do is just have a week of each and just see how they react, and see whether they can help me or whether they're ever worth But I am hearing more and more people talking about trading more charts now. I even saw Thomas Wade at the end of his trading session the other day put up the oil and the NQ. So, there are times where this market is choppy and probably best stay out of it. And at the moment, it's starting to look like that. So it's nice to have the option to just flick onto another chart if it looks a bit clearer. So even if you just put it out there as pure entertainment, and if this starts to get a bit choppy, trouble is, if we're sat here through 4 hours of this, the urge to take a trade can be pretty strong sometimes, and you don't want to sit there for 2 hours and have all the patience of a saint and jump into a daft trade because you run out of your patience. So I think it's good to have another couple of charts that maybe you could decide to maybe trade something else. So many traders do trade multiple charts at the same time. Granted, the 2000 tick chart's relatively quick, so I tend to probably wouldn't trade 2 charts at the same time, but it's useful to keep an eye on another one, because if this starts to go tits up and it's just going up and down and chopping all over the place, then you might think, let's scrub this for half an hour and let's move over. The perfect contextual second entry long you took before that open I took on a sim because I didn't like how far it triggered from the EMA, but contextually it doesn't get any better. Yeah, I agree with that. It does nice. Yeah, when it is a bit sideways, sometimes I think, I'm assuming you're as experienced as me a few years in, we're still at that time where sometimes you do question things. But I've got to say, if I see a trade which I think is an absolute beauty, I cannot remember when one's failed. There was one that failed once about 4 or 5 months ago, and lots of people marked it and said what happened there, and Mac explained it, and I thought, oh yeah, okay, that makes a bit of sense. But it's just another notch on your belt then, isn't it? But trades like that just don't fail. They just really don't. So when I was in that, I was looking at the NQ thinking, don't give me a different picture here, because I 100% believe in that trade. But you got to admit, when you get a nice setup and a really nice setup, nice and clean, they just don't fail. That's why I 100% believe in price action. That doesn't mean to say I lose my discipline sometimes and take a slightly riskier trade and lose, but I believe if you sat here, and waited for trades like that, you would have a 90+% win rate, day in, day out, maybe and some more, because it's such a nice trade. In fact, before I reloaded my historic, it did actually close on its high. But it just looks lovely, doesn't it? But yeah, the trouble is, I don't know what you're seeing, and maybe you're seeing this and thinking, oh, is it worth it? I am aware of that, but I'm also aware of this, and I would expect something that good, because usually, if you get a really good setup, a strong setup, a lot of traders will buy from that area, which makes it a strong, good trade. And sometimes when we see these nice trades, and you see a trade, you can't click your button quick enough. And I see Thomas Wade do this sometimes. If the bar's a bit big, he'll go on a limit order and it just disappears and off it goes. If I really believe in a trade, I tend to just buy it if it moves quick. And I can't remember the last time I regretted doing that, because the trade was that good. And it clearly went up to the highs. It did what it was supposed to eventually, but if a lot of people take that and there's a lot of stops there, as we know, it does give you a lot more protection in a trade. I don't know, I'm shivering here, I am. It's cold up here for some reason. Bloody horrible in the UK at the moment. We got snow, we got rain, we got freezing temperatures. In fact, I was watching, I was flicking through YouTube was it yesterday or the day before? And it was showing Los Angeles airport live, and there was thick snow. Pretty sure it was Los Angeles. Is that right? Los Angeles, a lot of snow. I'm pretty sure it was a Los Angeles airport. It was just a live cam. This guy had 38, and I hate you. We all hate you. Everybody ignore you today. 38 degrees. Wow, that's nice, isn't it? That's proper sweat your arse off weather, that is. Oh, lovely. Argentina. Wow. Of course, you're a lot further south, aren't you? South America, so obviously closer to the equator. That's the place to live, isn't it, if you want warm weather? 42 here today. What's it in motion? 42. Where are you? 42 degrees centigrade. Where are you? Remind me where you are. Hate it way too hot. Yeah, I've got to say, that's the hottest temperature we've ever had in the UK, 42. It was the summer before last. I think it was a fraction over foot. Oh, Australia. Got you. Perth. So, where's Perth? Is that the north? I can't think now. It's on my list of to-goes. Oh, there's two places I want to go more than anyone, Australia and South Africa, because I'm a big cricket fan. Perth. Where is it? West, north, south, east? Yes, okay, that makes sense, yeah. That makes sense, yeah. You do get some warm weather. I mean, somebody told me a while ago, Melbourne, you can get summer, winter and spring all in one day in Melbourne. Does that sound right? 42, 43 Saturday, good grief. Yeah, it is known for its temperature, isn't it, Australia? I'd love to go to Australia. I will at some point. I'd like to go for... well, I was tempted to go for the next Ashes, which is, I believe, next year. But we'll have to wait and see about the finances. I am part of the Barmy Army fan club, and they do sort of like these tickets where you go for 5 weeks. And it includes all the tickets, hotels and everything. Yeah, I do love the look of Australia. I had a niece was over there for a couple of years. She's in... Where is she now? I can't remember. She was in Bali last I heard. She's a bit of a traveller, likes her travelling. So, there was a fairly second entry long. Trouble is, it's a bit congested here. You want to be back in the UK. Where are you originally from, then? Whereabouts are you originally from? I'm assuming UK, are you, or not? You told me the other day, didn't you? Don't you build something, or you used to build something, didn't you? Remind me. Dry it, but those temps, winds, hot, not cooling. Yeah, from the UK. Remind me. Stand in front of a hairdryer. That's good. Exeter, I got you here. Cricket bats, that was it. Let's come back to me now. Exeter. Oh, yeah. It's quite nice down that way. I lived in Cornwall for a couple of years. My stepdad was in the army, and we lived in a little place called Camborne near Redruth. Nice part of the country, that is. Down the south. Well, southwest, isn't it? Sort of cricket bats, that was it. I knew something got me mentioning cricket. Of course it was, yeah. In fact, I have got a nice signed cricket bat, signed by the 1996 England team. Is it 96? 2000s? 2000s, I can't remember now. So this is getting close to these highs here, and it's hard to know what's going on at the moment. I think it is just, it's quite almost choppy really, isn't it? I think the thing about Australia, hotter countries, you generally have air conditioning. As you know, in the UK, we don't really. If you want air conditioning, you've got to go and sit in McDonald's, which I've done on a number of occasions. We do have a pool in the garden, throughout the summer. It does sound a little bit extravagant, but it's not. It's just one of those 12-foot round Intex pools, but it's about a metre deep, and we have like a decent, paid a couple of £100 for a sand filter, which is all on a timer, so, you know, all keeps nice and clean and that. Since we bought that, it's lovely. I don't know how many nights, 3 o'clock in the morning when we can't sleep, that I've been swimming around in that pool. I sat there through a thunderstorm once. Probably not the wisest thing. At about 3 o'clock in the morning. We're getting close to these tops. I wouldn't be shocked if we had a bit of a break. Loads of those signed shirts. Are you really? Pride in Place. Yeah, Sachin. Oh, Sachin Tendulkar. I've got a signed book of his, and KP as well. Yeah, I've got KP signed on a cricket bat. But I've got Sachin Tendulkar's book signed, and I've got it on a audiobook. In fact, I think his book is probably one of the best I've read. You know, brought up in India, sort of walked miles and miles to play cricket from a young age. Fantastic book that was. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed that. Perks of the Job. Yeah, of course. I think that's probably the best I've. It was the other book. It was the captain. What's his name? He was the captain, I think, at the time where what's her name was killed. Not Chris. What's his name? Got hit in the back of the head with a cricket ball. Sean. Not Sean. It'll come to me. It was a Charity Shield game at the SCG, I think. What's his name? Absolute freak accident. He was the captain at the time, and he talks a lot about that. That when he died. Great book that was. Smallish fella, isn't he? Smallish fella. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. But yeah, Kevin Peterson. Another talent. Bitcoin's just finally pushed up above 45,000. Michael Clark, I'm thinking of. Yeah, Phil Hughes. Phil Hughes was on the died. Yeah, Michael Clark, I was thinking of. He was the captain at the time. Yeah, that was a sad affair. That was. I mean, Christ, you never think you'd lose your life on a cricket pitch, would you? Cricket ground. No, that was shocking. That was. I remember seeing clips of it, but it wasn't televised live, was it? It was a Charity Shield game. It was recorded, but not televised live, fortunately. But wow, you don't expect that to happen, do you? Absolute freak accident. A real shame as well. Young lad. What was he, in mid-20s? Mid-20s, in the prime of his life. That's sad, isn't it? And then a couple of years ago, they lost the great Shane Warne. That was another sad affair, that was. Another absolute legend of the game. Yeah, it's a shame. Phil Hughes, yeah, what a shame. Yeah, it's a great game, cricket. I know a lot of you Australians will probably be bored to death now. I don't think many Australians know what cricket is, really, do they? Which is strange. Because, you know, the US are quite a sporting nation, but... there is a possible second entry long. Rodian, how you doing? There we go. How you doing, buddy? Got to step it up here, behalf of the Aussies. Of course, he's a fake Aussie anyway. He's from the UK. Of course, yeah. So you're New Zealand, aren't you? I'm pretty sure you're New Zealand. He's in Australia. He's in Perth at the moment, so he's sweating buckets at the minute. What was it? 42 degrees. Mind you, you have a lot cooler temperature there in New Zealand, don't you? You have a lot colder temperature. It's a fact. A commercial. About Australia's national sport, yeah. Oh, go on. Oh, you're in Melbourne. Oh, okay. I could have sworn you were in New Zealand. Who was in New Zealand? I don't know. I guess it's cricket, yeah. I'm still very much English, especially during the Ashes, yeah. I love the Ashes. There was a bit of controversy last time, wasn't there? Because they stumped out Johnny Burstow, didn't they? He sort of wandered out of his crease. But I think it ended up a draw. But we were winning, and we would have thrashed Australia if it wasn't for the stoppage of the weather. So it was because of the weather. So it's a bit unusual that why it still happens like that. I don't know. It's very popular. I just don't appreciate how much. Yeah. I know Australians are really passionate. They're sort of, and then you got India as well, another sort of passionate nation. I'd love to go to India as well, actually, because they're absolutely cricket crazy over there. There is a second entry long there. What's the NQ doing? I think the NQ may even be looking slow. Oh no, maybe not. Let me look. I'm just not sure whether there might be any type of a channel like that, in which case we may have a leg and a leg, so I don't want to be going long here. Yeah, it does look like. I don't know whether there is a channel. We got a touch and a touch, but if that has a leg and a leg, it would certainly come around, so certainly don't want to be going long there. My charge, you got an overshoot with a double top. You know about here? Okay, yeah, I get that. Yeah, we got a perfect touch, yeah, small overshoot, double top, yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? We got a leg up here, maybe a break, two pushes up to a new high, leg and a leg. If we get a lower high here, trouble is if it comes into contact with that, it could reverse. I don't think it will. In fact, I'm probably not even sure that's even a channel. See if we get a lower high, but yeah, it's clearly respecting that area, isn't it? That makes sense. There is a small overshoot. I got to say, I emailed Mac maybe 7 or 8 months ago and said, why did that one fail? Why did it do that? He said, because there's an overshoot and it was the tiniest thing. But then sometimes I hear Mac say, I'm not even convinced it is. But what I will say is it touches on that bar perfectly and on that bar perfectly. And there's a perfect touch there and there. So I think it's fair to say the way that happened and then it went a bit sideways. And as you say, the double top followed by a big bearish bar. The trouble is, what's going to go on here? Why is the market so slow today? It is a bit sideways, which is sort of really a little bit of people are unsure what's going on. So hence a lot more people will be sitting watching and not trading. When it's like this, it can be a bit dangerous to trade. So you like to think the sensible guys with the bigger pockets will probably be sitting through a lot of this. So hence it's going a bit slower. It's only about 11 points, is it really? Oh yeah, ATI's low. I thought there was 2 points between these, but there's not. There's only a point. Wow, it's not often you see a 1.5, is it? So, wow. Hold on a second. Hold your horses. Oh, no. What am I doing? Okay, that's better. Yeah, it's still quite a big gap, isn't it? It's hard to know what's going on here on this NQ. Let's have a look. I think it's fair to say at the moment, I think we've just got a range here, haven't we? Yeah, we have. So I think there's the bit I don't like is we go up, we come back, and then we push up. So you don't know whether this is going to come down, go up a bit before it comes down. I don't think there's any type of a bigger channel there. Possibly. It is possible, though, but the way we've rejected from here, I'd say there's a good chance it's just range. Both moving strongly in opposite directions, yeah. Means it's choppy, yeah. That's kind of like why I have both on there, because it does give you two. This looks like it's going up, that looks like it's coming down, which is a good enough reason to stay out of it. I was hoping we may just have a push up and then a break below, maybe a failure. And if we can get the same here, maybe we can get into a trade and ride it down to here. But the trouble is, you don't know whether it's just going to turn and come down quickly. And also we've had a channel here now. We have had a small overshoot, and an overshoot can result, obviously it can result in a full out reversal. It can result in just a correction. And sometimes I've seen it just break out a bit here, break out a bit that side like a mirror image and carry on. So it's hard to say. I think it's probably safe to assume that is an overshoot, and followed by clearly finding some resistance there, and as you say, double top. I think it's a fair comment. We're at least going to have a break. So, if we can get a couple of attempts to push up, and maybe hopefully something bearish there. I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on here. See, it is range, it is going sideways, but we're not just coming from the bottom to the top, are we? We went up so far, came back, went up a bit higher, came back below than that, and then up to the top and then back, so it's just unclear. So maybe it'd be nice to have something like, I don't know, another chart, maybe oil or something like that, to at least look at least then if you can find something that is maybe trending nicely. Liquidity is sticking below and above price. Yeah. It's clearly choppy at the moment. I suppose the more you don't know what's going on, the choppier it really is, isn't it? So we had that one. Then we had that second entry long. There was a higher low there. They all worked. So, I mean, it's readable. We had a channel down here. We got a channel up here. So it's not completely, with the exception of this, it does look a bit, but you know, someone, I forget it was who told me you can trade congestion as long as you know what you're doing, or as long as you know what's going on. So we're coming up to this area again for the third time now. So if we get rejected from here, we may come down. We may have a second entry short for another leg down. So have to see what happens here. In fact, let's bring that down a bit to the tops of the bars. So actually, we've gone above there a little bit now. So if we can get a lower high here, and it looks like we're coming down, we may get a second entry short here for another leg down. Stayed up late, 2:30 am here. Wow. Try to make up for early losses at the DAX. Getting entries. I guess that they'll start. Yeah. In fact, when I start these live accounts starting tomorrow, excuse me, I'm going to stop at one loss. I still have this issue, really. But the trouble is, I was talking to someone about this the other day. If you take a loss, chances of you having another loss immediately after, well, in the next trade, jumps up by quite a high percentage. So if you only do one loss in a day and finish or move on to a sim, at least then, theoretically, as long as you can stick to your rules, you should never lose more than, say, I don't know, trading on one contract, a couple of $100 in a day. And I think that installs discipline. And I think what you need to do is get yourself to a level where the account's really building. You can take a few losses, but the account's still growing. And then I think you're going to get a nice bit of self-belief then. So that's what I'm going to do. And I think by only allowing yourself one loss, I think you'll wait for a better quality trade. So I think it's win-win that. So that's what I'm going to do. But I'm not just going to walk away, because I know sometimes in the past when I've walked away, I've been tempted to come back and trade. What I'm going to do is switch straight onto a sim and continue to trade on a sim. So I'm here. I've got accountability. And I can sort of, calm down, relax, and move on for it and come back fresh tomorrow. At least that way I should never have more of a loss. Artie, how you doing, my friend? Mac's been saying it. This is hard trade. Yeah, it is. I've noticed he said that a couple of times. It is difficult to trade. Yeah, you're right. Just quickly, there is a second entry short there, and this is reacted strongly from here, so I don't think that's a bad trade,
Order
personally.
submitted.
Let's see how it finishes. It's quite a big bar. Trouble is now we're right down to the EMA, aren't we? So I'm just going to jump in here. It's a bit more of a risk than I wanted. But I'm just going to go for a smaller profit. Maybe just here. I'm
Target
I don't want
filled.
to be too greedy. It's quite a big risk. So there's another. Was that another point? Couple of hundred or something? What's that? I didn't want to be risky. Point and a quarter. That'll do, mate. That's quite a big rejection off there. And that to me looks like a fail break out of a range. So this just, although I've put it like this, it's just not right to me, that. So I came right down, so I could have stayed in there, but I'm happy chipping away. I'm going for 4 contracts, so I'm going for bigger profits. So I'm quite happy chipping away at smaller positions. I'm all right with that. So it was a second entry short, and it was a point and a quarter. Plus 1.25. So we got a break and a good strong attempt at a new high. I like that because we've rejected off here strongly. We've done the same. So 1, 2. You could call that a triple test. The trouble is on the NQ, there is a bit of support around there actually, but it could break through it. That's quite a strong push down, that is. So the bar's finished naff anyway. Yeah, you take it easy, Rodian. Yeah, he has been saying that it's hard to trade, so it is nice when he says that, because there'll probably be a lot of frustrated traders around thinking, God, this is a night, this is never ending. But at the end of the day, all you really need is one trade a day. If you can get one trade a day for a couple of points, you can make a ton of money. And you've got the days, it's a long day of trading if you want. I only tend to do 3 hours because I think it's enough personally, but I believe Mac does a lot longer. I mean, you'd be hard pushed to sit here for a whole day and not take something, you know. How do you trade 4 contracts and still not be stressed? Because this is an evaluation. Don't stress me the slightest now. They used to. It's just another evaluation. I've got 2 evaluations which have passed. One goes live tomorrow, one goes live on Tuesday, but I picked up another one. But it doesn't stress me. It used to. It used to scare the hell out of me. I used to grind me teeth even with evaluations, but you know, when you've been doing them for so long, you know, I mean, they're $35, which is obviously, you know, not a huge risk. But they just don't stress me anymore. As I say, they used to. It was a nice trade. I like that one. 2 legs up. Second entry short. Big rejection right off here. Engulfed that bar. I think there was a good chance that was coming down to at least the lows. Makes sense that it came down to there. Max says he's usually done in the morning. Yeah, I'm sure somebody said to me the other day that he works long hours, but no, I didn't think so. A lot of the times he said you can be done early, doesn't he? So he wouldn't advocate, you know, getting a trade or 2 in and finishing early, would he? If he thinks you should be there all day. Got to say, when I first started learning to trade, I heard things like, you know, 10, 11 hours a day in front of a screen. Is it something you want to do? Could have been further from the truth. I tend to average around about 3 hours. Sometimes I'll do a fraction over. But, you know, on days where I'm doing an evaluation or I'm doing a sim for whatever reason, I'll do an hour and a half sometimes. And when you see what the weather's like, there's nothing nicer than not having to go out in the freezing cold and rain. Last time he traded out. Oh, brilliant. That's good to know. So where is he? I think Mac's 6 hours behind, isn't he? 6 hours behind me. So he would start at sort of 8:30. I think he starts at 7:30, doesn't he? Doesn't he start an hour before the market opens? 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30. So maybe 4 hours. I mean, part of the appeal for trading as well, because it can be quite stressful. It's good to have, you know, not put hours and hours. I mean, you wouldn't want to do this 40 hours a week, would you? Every week. Especially when you're trading money. You know, when I was learning, you know, when I was sort of sim and that, I was at work at sim, you know, on a day off, I'd trade 7 hours. Because, you know, if you're only trading on a sim, I think it's best to put in loads of hours. Because it does get you just in front of that screen, doesn't it? You know, like Mac will say, screen time is the most important thing, and it absolutely is. It's still quite choppy, isn't it? I think that was definitely a nice trade. In fact, I can't remember, considering how choppy it is, the last time we had a nice looking trade like that. Another second entry lot. Oh no, well, arguable, maybe a higher low. And that as well, clearly rejected off there. As soon as that broke above there, there'd quite very lightly some short orders there, and obviously that dropped and came right back down to this. So that played out really nice. So if you'd have got in, yeah, that went down 2.75. So if you'd have got a tip below there, you'd have comfortably had 2 points. I'd have probably. The reason I got out of that bit quicker because it's just this just doesn't look as clear. See, judging by what I'm seeing here, we could have another leg down here, so we may break this area here and come low. Because it's bouncing off support there, so if it does break through there, I think it's going to be coming down because I'd say there's some longs for sure there. I wouldn't be surprised if that came down another leg and started taking some of these out. It does. Trouble is, it's too late to go short here, really. It could pull back, but I have a feeling it's going to do a leg and a leg. There's probably going to be some long stops. There may be some there. Yeah, so we got the same issue as here now, haven't we? Same sort of thing. We had a channel down with a break. Very, very similar to that. Would you really want to go short there? Second entry short. Depends how it falls. Depends what happens with this. But we got very similar looking price action. We got a little push up, and that's that bar with a stem. There was a doji there. It finished on its lows there, and then down a bit, and a bearish bar. You know, half red at the top. Same there. If this gets below here, I think it'll continue down to these lows here. Trouble is, it's only a first entry really, so it's just too risky to take that. There is a bit of support there, so it could. I'm thinking it may hold there, it may push up. There's nearly 2 legs done, so I won't want to be going short here. Same again, it's holding along there. Oh. So we're only talking a couple of days ago, we'd never been in this 5,000 range before. Now we're well into it. Just doesn't seem to want to stop this thing. I did read some financial guy said he expects a big correction in the stock market soon, so I wouldn't be shocked if we had a big drop on this at some point. I mean, looking on the daily, we're very close to the top of this. Very close to the top. A couple of legs, so you just don't know, do you? It's been really strong lately. Okay, bit of a pullback and another attempt. H, sorry mate, I didn't see you there. I think I read one of your comments and I didn't see you there. How you doing, mate? He might be there all day, but his fairly recent video he mentioned he was usually done trading. Yeah, doesn't he usually like to be done before noon? I'm pretty sure I've heard him mention that. Okay, so is there going to be a high or low here to push up to here? Good, excellent. Is this going to push up a bit? It would make sense. Trouble is, we're so close to the highs there. Do I really want to get into a long there?
Order submitted.
I might get in there for a quick point. We're close to the... no, we're very close to those highs. If it reacts as that high, I'm going to be going long about there, so... No.
Order cancelled.
Push up. There's a bearish bar there, which is triggered and pushed up. So you probably expect that to come up to this level, and it may so, but with this a few ticks away from the highs, I don't think I really want to go to be thinking about going long. And ironically enough, that bar, which is bullish, it's a tick off its high, it's triggered, and it's backtracked a little bit. So I suppose you may have a go at a limit order. We're very close to the tops here. In fact, you could even bring that down to there and say we've hit the tops. Twice there, that was a failed breakout, so it could. It may not push higher. So going long there is a bad idea, I think. I mean, if you come off the bottoms, you'd naturally think the next port of call would be here. But the fact that this is touched that would put me out of that trade, and rightly so. There you go. So it's got stopped out. So it is a high low, and it actually doesn't look that bad. So if you got in right on the nail, even if you just got a 1.25 or something like that, or even a 1.5 and gone out there, you'd naturally expect a rejection off the bottom there. You think, okay, push up. I mean, it may come back and it may push up again, but we've come off this area, so I'm always wary if this does this. If I think this is pushed up enough going long. So
order filled.
I actually like that. I actually like that. I should be there, really, in all fairness. Come on. Tick through me. Let's just go there, not be greedy. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I'll push through there. I'll push through there.
Target filled.
I like that. Okay. Leg down. That to me is a penguin style trade. So, leg down. One attempt to go higher. Second attempt to go higher. Failure. Pulled strongly through the EMA. This is coming off the tops. I expect this to come down, which is why I took that one. Still looks like it's going. Yeah. Yeah, it just looks like one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, followed by a lower high. That for me is worth taking just down to the bottom. You may even go a bit lower, but what I like there is we've pushed up once, we've come back and retested this, we've pushed up strongly, we've pushed up again, and we've got a bearish bar there. Then we've got a bullish bar, which is triggered, and it's coming down. So that tells me one attempt to go high, second attempt to go high, whether you see it that way, or one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, failure coming down. This to me has come off the tops, so I think there's a fair chance this is coming down to at least this area. So it was worth a go, that, just for a bit. And also it's a lower high, so we do seem to be making lower highs, so I expect that to quite probably, if this comes down to the lows here, this will as well. So if you can spot them and figure out what's going, I think it's worth a go. I expect it to probably come down a bit more, but it's going to trap some, longs there, and it's triggered a bit and come down. So yeah, it's doing what I expected. It just looked weak there, and all of a sudden dropped down bearish. So what did I get there? Just a point. I'm happy with a point. It's chipped another $200 off here. So let's call that a second. It's a second entry short and a lower high. Plus. Oh, I must spell that. It's alright, I've got a microphone in front of my face. There we go. So yeah, it's just losing strength, isn't it? Tried once, twice, 3 times, big bearish bar, straight through the EMA, which is why I jumped in there. I could see what was going on. I could have held on. I may have risked holding on. But I'm happy just to get in and chip another $100 away. So yeah, I just wanted to get out before those lows. It's always probably sensible, just in case. But this, to me, as it's come off there back to the EMA, it's looking bearish, and this is clearly struggling to get up. So I would expect this now to get down here. So if we can get a bit of a pullback to retest that line, there might be another option for a bit more. Let's see if this one comes careering down. Interesting. Just looking at the 1,000-tick charts, got a touch here, touch perfectly here, touch a few times here, so there may be a bit of a channel coming down here, so you can get a second entry short at this area. Obviously it depends what happens here. If this, as long as this is below the EMA, I'd like to get 2 attempts. I like the way it's trying to test this area under here. I need a second entry though, because we've already had a break and a new low technically, but we haven't come down to the lows. So if this doesn't look bearish, I won't be getting interested. Okay, another bounce off here. And then another drop may get us a second entry short. I'm a bit late today, So you have taken some nice trades. There's been a few nice. I mean, I'm on an evaluation, but there's been some nice trades actually. That one I loved. That one, it was 2 legs down, nice bullish barn. It worked. Maybe not as good that one. That I liked. Leg down, 2 attempts. 2 pushes up. Nice big bearish bar came right down to the bottom, and that one as well. I think if you know what's going on there, we got count the bottom. We pushed up. Failed, pushed up again, trapped some longs, nice big bearish bar. I jumped in there, I got out here, got out for a quick point, although it came further, but I'm happy just getting out there. So there was some trades around today. Would I have taken them all? That one I would take again. That one I probably wouldn't take again. That one I definitely would, and that one I definitely would. So I'd have taken 3 trades for sure. It did make more than that. I thought there was a good chance it would, but I think the sensible thing to do is just to get out the lows. Sometimes it's worth just a point. So I've got no issues with taking a quick point. If it's a good setup and it'll only get me a point, I'm happy with taking that. So we're getting something here because we're at the top again, so we could come down a leg and a leg. Yeah, there's been a few trades around today. Considering it, at first glance, it looks choppy. Now this is interesting. Quick look on the 1,000 tick chart. Seems to be our channel there. We've got a push up, a break, and a new high. So there's a second entry short there, which is triggered. There's instantly tick triggered yet and pushed up into a bull bar, and that's triggered and pushing down. So I think there's a good chance if this breaks, it might not. If this breaks below there, it may come down because there's going to be trades there, and there'll be some trades there. Let's see what happens if it nicks this. So I wouldn't want to be going along there for obvious reasons. It's not to say it won't work, but you could like to think there'll be some long stops there and there. So this is the 1,000. Keep an eye on that. Oh wow, we're up here, so I wonder. There may be the start of a channel there. Touch, 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 touch. I like the way we've broken above this. We've had 2 legs back. We've had another attempt and we've pushed straight through it. So we may get out of this range after all. We're getting close to the tops. So I've still got mixed feelings here. It's still a bit choppy. We can't trade it on my chart. Looks like a trap and pop to the longs. Yeah. So the issue is going along here really because we're at the top of this channel. If it is a channel, which it kind of looks like it, it's kind of the best I got at the minute. So we're at the tops anyway. And yesterday's highs, we're at yesterday's highs. There's yesterday's highs. So we're at the top of the channel. Yesterday's highs. So is that going to go much further without coming back? I'd say probably doubtful. Right at the top here, see, so see, ordinarily if I was on a PA, I'd have packed it in for the day. After that trade and that one, I'd have finished for the day. So what's that? I mean, shorter there, I could have gone for more points there, surely, for both of them, but just the way it's choppy, sometimes you're better off going for a bit shorter. The ATRs are relatively low, so 3, 4, 5, 5.5, is that 4.5 points? So I'll be more than pleased with that for the day. Shot above the EMA and Doges stay green within short term. Yeah. Started this short term uptrend after the huge bull bar. Fitch better. You're on about here, are you? Or here? On the NQ, you're on about, yeah? Are you on about here? On this one? Yeah, I'll go with that now. I usually tend to adjust them as and when. But yeah, that fits. So, trouble is, we're right at the top of this now. You the 1 point trade seems very easy for you today. Well, I mean, to be fair, I'm trading on evaluation, so there's obviously a lot less stress. So, but because it's choppy, sometimes if I go for 2 points or something like when it's choppy, you get stung. It can really mess you around a bit when it's like this. But the trade so far, that I think was a nice trade, and it went up beautifully. That one was 2 legs back, and it's still working off there, and that worked okay. Having said that, with that support, I still wouldn't have taken that on a PA. That I really liked. We had a leg down, we had 2 legs up, nice second entry short, pushed above this, reacted beautifully on there, big bearish bar. I think it's fair game that that's coming down to the next level of support, which is somewhere around here, and that I really liked as well. We came off the top, we had a push up, we failed, we came back, we had a really strong push up. I like the way it pushed up, and then that bar came right the way down, and then that triggered, and that dropped. When I saw that drop, that's where I'm getting in, because it came lower, and we've made 1 attempt, 2 attempts, and then followed by a lower high. It's actually a second entry short as well, so it's got everything good about that. And I think really common sense tells me if you get good setups and they move really quick, it tells me there's a lot of traders. There's a lot of there's a lot of sellers selling that, especially with this support down here. But I think that the better setups or the stronger bars, entry bars, encourage buyers or sellers, and I think sometimes the better the trade, the quicker it moves. I mean, that's just my opinion, but I'm just, I'm not using that as experience. That would sort of be common sense to me. So we're getting a little bit of sideways here, so I could probably micro adjust that so it fits. Yeah. See, we're clearly getting an area where it's struggling a little bit now, so I would expect that would more likely... there is a bearish bar there, so yeah, I'd certainly expect it to take those stops out there. But I would certainly think I wouldn't want to be buying up here, but I would certainly expect a bit of a pullback. I mean, you don't know. Sometimes you think, well, that's going to trigger and come down because I'd never take a trade there, and sometimes it just keeps going on up. But for me, that would not be a place to buy personally. And I like the way we're at the top here now, so that would be a great place to short again, especially looking like I would expect that to push down. So we got a channel break, new high. And same again, we're hitting this resistance, but we have been below here before, so whether that mean we might push a bit higher, I don't know. I mean, this is a lot to do with it. Let's see what happens. If that pushes up and stops above there, then that's game over there. But this is looking pretty bearish at the moment. That's why I like having this. If this is looking bearish, then it would, you know, help me take a trade here. I mean, there's a lot of support there, isn't there? But at the moment, it's going a bit sideways, and that's exactly what's happened here. So, is that triggered? Yeah, that's triggered. So if that comes down below there, I expect that to come to the EMA because there'll be stops there. So
Order filled.
I'll probably sell that now for a bit, just to the EMA maybe. Probably a bit premature there, but there's a triple top there, so I would expect that to come back to the EMA. I got in a bit premature, but I want to get out of this. It's going a bit sideways there. I don't like that, so I'm just going to get out of here for break even.
Stop filled.
Okay. I don't like that one. Scrub that one. Why isn't that highlighting? It's going a bit sideways here. That's probably a better option to go below there. Is that not working?
Order submitted.
Hell?
Order cancelled. Order submitted.
I don't like the way that's holding there. I think that's key. If that can, yeah, I just didn't like the way that was going sideways there. I wouldn't be shocked if it stops that out. So I was glad I got out there.
Order cancelled.
Second bull bar. What about that one there? Here. No, you've been messing. Yeah. I was hoping that that might trigger. We got some resistance there. Trouble is, we've been out the bottom here, so we may get into this area here. About going a bit sideways. Not about there. I don't like all this bit, see, that's the trouble. I mean, whichever way you do it anyway, I think it's safe to say we've had a break. Now.
Order submitted.
1, 2, 3, so we've made 3 attempts. If we can get below there, we need to get below there. So I like the fact that that's triggered, so let's just keep an eye on this. I don't like the way it's flicking around.
Order cancelled.
Yeah, I don't want to go short here just yet. We need to get below there. It may work, but in all fairness, it's a little bit sideways here. So I think going short there might be a bit of a mistake. So if I'd have put my order below there, I mean, it might work, but I don't like the way it's going sideways. May just turn up here. If you get below here, then I at least expect it to come to the may even come further. So there is that bearish bar there. Trouble is, if I sell below there, this could push back in. If it gets below there, which it looks like it probably might do, yeah, that's the bit that was concerning me. I mean, it does look like a channel, but in all fairness, we could. I think we could end up doing something like that. That would make sense, which means we could come down a bit. Let's just make this a bit bigger. Yeah, this just looks like a bit of chop. I'm not saying it is. It just may be. Let's just get this out of the way a minute. Okay, let's see what happens here. Push up, sort of sideways, downwards, push up, sideways, downwards. I mean, this could move into a channel. I don't know whether it will or not. It might not, but I think I want to be at least aware of it. We could bounce and push back up here, see, and as we've been down this bottom here, broke below here, we could close above it, or at least try and push above it. Could be a leg, and another leg. So far, it's held right there, literally right on that. We got a touch, perfect touch, and it's held. So, get smoked on range days, yeah. In all fairness, as far as a range day, it's probably one of the better range days you'll find, because there is some setups and quite clear ones. I mean, it looks choppy. At first glance, you think, oh, choppy as hell, but that's a lovely trade. I think that is as well. Look how much support we've got there, and it's twice it's hit that and above it. You can clearly see it's sold off nice and strong there. You expect that to come down the bottom, and that I really like as well. Lower high, second entry short. So as far as a range day, it's certainly one of the better ones. I can't remember the last time I can't remember the last time there was 3 trades I'd have taken within the first hour and a half on a range day. That one I'd have left, although it did work, and it was technically, a break, and then a higher low. So it was a break and a higher low, so maybe it's not that bad. But the bit that I probably wouldn't take that again because there is some support there, although we have got some highs in it and it got up there. But I'd probably be a bit cautious there. That one I'd have jumped all over 100%. That one I'd have taken, and that one as well. Even though it went below, I still got out there at the bottom. I got no issues with taking it point to point. It's $50. You have 2 accounts, it's $100. I like to go for 2, but I'm certainly not going to turn down $100. I like the way that's holding. So now, I've seen this do this before as well, where it traps some longs and then comes down again, and maybe it's not this, but I just want to be aware that it may be. So we may have a second entry long. We may get up here there. So let's see how this works. So we've got a perfect touch there, perfect touch there. 1, 2, 3, fitting beautifully there, touch there, and it's holding there. So that's a good sign. It may come careering down, but I want to give it the benefit of the doubt. Actually, I can move that to there. Drag that out a little. And that would work. Touch. Close enough. Touch. Holding. So if we can hold here and start to move up, maybe get a high-low. I may be interested if we can get something along there. Okay, so far so good. Volume is also stupid low today. Yeah, it's about not even the 4,000. Get normal hit. Yeah. I suppose it makes sense, doesn't it? If it's sideways, more people tend to stay out of it. Although there has been some setups, but it's still kind of moving relatively nice. It's it's fitting nice in these areas, fitting nice. So they're. But yeah, at first glance, if you took a glance at that, you'd be thinking, oh God, not another range day. But there's definitely lower volume. But it's as far as setups, there have been a few. That one I absolutely loved. That one, same again, reacted beautifully off there, second entry short, and that one I liked as well, lower high. NQ was looking really bearish there, and I like that just down to the lows here. Worked perfectly, and obviously it came down a bit more, so... okay, so we've got a touch so far. So if we can look like we're pushing up, get a higher low, then maybe I'll look for something back up towards this area. We've got a channel break. I think that's a channel break and a new low. That's looking positive. So let's call that like that. So we got a channel, a break, and a new low. Okay, that's looking positive. I just want to make sure that doesn't downturn on me. I like the way it's holding there. So far so good. That's above the EMA. This is below at the moment. So if this continues to push up, I should have time to get in here if I shorted between your first two longs. Okay, that's triggered. That looks like it's going up. Yeah, it does. But it looks like I'd rather wait for a higher low there because it could push up a bit and then drop. Sometimes, and I see it all the time, these markets have a habit of trying to suck you in. They go, come on, follow me. And they'll give you another small bar, and then you jump in on the second one if you don't get on the first one because you don't want to miss it, and it triggers you and comes down. So I'm just going to sit tight here in a minute because that's triggered and it's holding. If it breaks below there and pushes up, then I might get in there on a limit order. 9 ticks, so 10, 11. So if you got on a limit order for 10 ticks, yeah, I don't like the way it's struggling. It could come down, say, which would stuff that. Shorted between the first two longs. That there, I suppose, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like two legs, doesn't it? New low here, second entry short. Worked, didn't it? It worked. Wouldn't know it was going to do that. I mean, it wasn't the tidiest of channels, in all fairness, or was it anyway? I mean, I think the most important one to me was this, with the break, really. Okay, so that's triggered. Let's see what happens. I'd like to see that bearish bar trigger there and then start to push up, in which case I may take a higher low. I'd like that to trigger. And that one. Okay, so that looks like a channel with a break, so we may... depends how you look at this. This is starting to look bearish. This could be as well. See, it's kind of like why I like this, because this one's above the EMA, this one's below, so I don't want to take a short while this is above the EMA and vice versa. If that pushes up, and I think it's going to stop that bar out, then I may go long on a higher low. Let's have a look. So far, it does seem to be holding on there, so that's positive. So let's have a look. If that can break low, I might just get in on a limit order. And pretend I took that one on a limit order, but we ain't above it yet. Trouble is, that's actually kind of a nice looking channel. And we got a touch, a touch, a touch. It's fitting really nice there. So I think this may probably come down. And it looks like we're coming out for another leg. So I think that bar there is going to get stuffed. So leg and a leg. Let's see. It may just retest this. If this, it could still hold, I suppose, couldn't it? It's a bit sideways at the moment, but what I like is it's struggling around here. I think if it breaks below there, I think I can forget that channel. If that was going to push up in a channel, I think that's a really strong bar to buy personally. If it's a channel, so I'm starting to think maybe it's not. See if it holds. 1, 2, 3, maybe a triple test if this bounces strong. 1 attempt, 2 attempts, 3 attempts to go lower and pushes up. Let's see how this finishes. But if this comes down, breaks below there, I think the trend's out of the question. The fact that it's holding might mean the trend's okay. Okay, so it's closed above that line, so that's all good. So let's see if it holds. I think if that was a good setup, I think it'd push up a bit stronger than that. So maybe it's a leg and a leg, so I'm not so sure about that now. Nice channel there, so we've got a break. So this is really interesting. This is it's really trying to hold. And if it gets below here, it's game over, I think. It's making a good effort, I will say that. I hate that. What are we going to do? Are we going to make a new low? That would make sense, wouldn't it? If it does push below there, I think it'll have quite a bit of a drop, because I wouldn't be surprised the way that's really struggling. I won't be surprised. There was quite a few longs bought that. It's holding. It's really trying to hold. To get above here. Yeah, it's looking quite better now. I don't know. If it gets above here, then I think there's a chance it'll push up. Okay, so let's scrub that. Channel break, new low, leg and a leg. See if we can get a higher low here. Yeah, unfortunately, as tempting as it is to get along there, it's just too dangerous. It really could have done either or. I started to swing towards it, pushing up after a while because it kept coming down and still pushing. So that tells me there's probably quite a few longs in that that took that. Okay, so we've made a new high there. I have a feeling this is going to come down now. It's just a feeling. We got this channel, we got a break, a strong push down. Channel break. So another little attempt to go higher. And then another leg down. I noticed Penguin was back yesterday. He had a video back up there. I thought he'd finished. It was the first video I'd been had for a while. I thought, I'm sure someone said he'd finished. So another attempt to go higher, and then I may take a short there. This could come flushing down. What was this? Is this going to come tumbling down now? Leg. It may do. I'd like another little push up. Second entry short. Okay, that's what I wanted now. A little push up. Go on, get up. Push. And again. Go on. If this comes I'm hoping this comes tumbling down and takes out any stops from those longs, in which case we should get down to the lows. That's why I was hoping we get a bit of a break above there and then maybe a lower high, stroke second entry short, because this to me looks like it's going to flush down. Oh, it's a shame, that is. If that had ticked above there, I'd have probably taken that.
Order
Let's take
filled.
it anyway. See if we can get something out of it. It is a bit risky, but it's a bit maybe a bit premature there. Maybe a bit premature there. It's probably going to come down. Where's the lows down here? No, it's not worth it came down way too quick, that. Now let's get out of here. No, I don't like this. Let's get over break even. Or do I? Is it going to come down some more? I can't make my mind up. Let's get out for break even. I don't like it. Come on, take me out. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I don't mind taking a $50
Target
loss on
filled.
it. That'll do me. It's probably going to come down. I don't know. We've had a good push from here. Okay, it worked. I don't mind losing $50 just to get out. I got him way too low than I should have done. So what did I lose there? A point? Was it a point or half a point? 5756. Tick. That's alright. I can live with that. Well, it's just risky, that was. Okay, so this is interesting. I wonder. So we got a touch, a touch, a touch. Hmm. What's going on here? Possibly. Could just be a bit sideways up, a bit of a sideways. It may turn into a range. It's hard to say. Channel, sorry. Two legs down on the 4K. Yeah, look. Yeah. Yeah, we're at the bottoms, aren't we, really? So this looks like it could be bullish. So we've had a break. 1, 2 pushes down to a new low. So I don't know what's going on here, really. This is looking really strong, though, isn't it? You could say that's a higher low, although I prefer it to trigger below there. It's very choppy, this, isn't it? I mean, it certainly seems to be working up, but it's doing it very messily, which makes. I mean, normally you'd sort of want to be looking to take something around here, wouldn't you? Not up here, but. Okay, so oh, lost. Come down a bit further. Okay, so that measured move's played out nicely. So I'm gonna leg down a break. New low. This is just choppy, isn't it? Yeah. So we got leg down, leg down. So depending on how you're looking at this, we got a channel down there with a break. So this is struggling to get up a bit. So we could come down, leg down, break. It could come down to this level here, really. I'm not saying it will, but it certainly could. Or it may just come down, trap some shorts, and then push up. But we've got this big vacant area here. And if this is a channel, I'd like it to. We've got to touch, at least make the attempt to come down to here. Maybe we got overnight highs here, so maybe come down and test this area. Make a new low from this channel. It might have other ideas. No high or low here or anything. It just moves up. Okay, is this drop from here? I think it may be. Break new high. Ooh. Looks like a hidden second entry short there, just not so sure at the moment. It's just a bit choppy, so see if we can get a higher low here. Okay, hello. Let's say excuse me just a second. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. Won't be a second. Okay. So it looks like a leg and a leg will be coming down to this area. It's slowing down, isn't it? There is a possible lower high there, but I just don't know if... Probably as we've been down to this, we could push up, could trap some shorts and push up again. We went up before it, we came back down and then went back up, so I'll be staying out of this, I think. Okay, I think there's a fair chance this could come down and stop that out. I'd still like to get it down to this area. It does seem like a bit of a channel. So we had this channel, we had a break, new low, push up. It's just definitely choppy, not very clear, but I'd expect that to... Well, I'd prefer it to come down to this area. Whether it will or not, who knows? So we've got a leg down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go. I have a feeling this is going to fail and come down. There's this big area here, I think, which needs filling. So we've had a channel down after this sideways. We've made one attempt to go higher and pushed back quite strongly. This is a second attempt to go higher. So if that fails and comes down below the EMA, I would expect that then to come down below this area, maybe to here. Oh, balls. I don't know. Okay, so we've got a leg down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. I think this is going to come lower and retest these lows. Same sort of thing we had here. Leg down, one attempt. So if this fails and comes down below here, I'd expect this to come down as well. It's just struggling to get up. And it looks like it might be sort of trapping the odd long, so I have a feeling this is going to come down.
Order submitted. Order cancelled.
Come on, drop you bastard. Give us this big bearish bar, come on. So, one attempt, second attempt, failure, come on. There's nothing you can do here really, can't go long. I'm not sure I really want to, because it's just a bit messy. It's hard to know what's going on. It sort of looks like a channel, but then we didn't come nowhere near this bottom where I thought we might do. So it's just a bit unclear really. I have a feeling maybe just doing a bit of sideways, I think. Leg up. I'm not sure about the channel. It still could come back, move sideways and come here. It could do. It sort of did the same there. We pushed up, went sideways till we hit an area, then we pushed up. So we could still do the same, up, down, until we get to this area. It's always possible. Oof. Gonna test those all-time highs, in my opinion. You might be right. We're up here now, aren't we? Oh yeah, up there. How you doing, Chris? All-time highs. There we go. Let's lock that off. You may be right, mate. It's been quite choppy the last couple of days, isn't it? We've been up here, and then we've had a couple of legs down. We're going a bit sideways, so had a sort of couple of legs, didn't we? Yeah, you may be right, mate. At some point, there's a chance we could get out. If we do get out above all this, then there's a good chance. It may still hold in Wood Thomas. I'd likely say. Yeah, I don't know if anybody else noticed. I saw one of his videos a couple of days ago, and he had the NQ and the CL, which I believe is oil, charts at the end of his video. So whether he's looking into those, I don't think it's a bad idea. In all fairness, when the market's like this, it's hard to trade. Fortunately, there has been some offers. I like that. That was a bit of a stupid gamble, but I just thought it was going to come down. It did what I expected, but I jumped in way too late. I mean, I wouldn't normally take that on a PA, and that was nice. But when it is like this, it is maybe worth looking at another chart. Price action supposedly supposed to work the same whatever chart you trade on. So our illustrious leader says so. Makes perfect sense. So maybe jump into another chart when it's doing this. I don't know. How do you get oil on here? I don't think have you got a. I don't think you can just do it from here, can you? CL, or can you? What's this? This is the NQ. Let's try it on here. Let's leave the NQ there. Can you get the CL straight on here or not? Or have you got to get some different data? Is the CL traded on the? Let's have a look. Obviously not then. Assuming you can't. How do you get different data? Anybody know? See, at the moment, what's I going to say? Type it straight into the box here. Well, it's there, isn't it? Is that it? Oh no, that's sorry. That's so where are we on? We're on 03, isn't it? So 03, and it's 24. Yeah, we're about a year behind here. No wonder there's no price action. Okay, let's see if that brings out anything. There we go. So I'm assuming that's all, isn't it? Oh, there we go. Okay. So that's the 4,000 tick chart. I don't know. Would you trade the same? I suppose so. Well, I think it's certainly safe to say there's a trend going on there. Okay, so you can trade it exactly the same. It's just getting to know the... hello. Somebody doesn't like something. Okay, it's just getting to know the point system. And there's clearly a trend going on there anyway. What's it been like? It's only its fair share of, but you got to trade it on a sim and get to know. I don't know what the point system is on here. 5,000 tick. Okie dokie. 500. Okay, so got the 400. Let's give it a chance to kick in and I'll change it. Okay, just looking at this, we're coming up to the highs here. See, do I really want to go long there, or is that going to be a bit of a trap? Leg up. There is a higher low there, but we're getting close to these highs, so
Order
let's give it a
filled.
whirl for a bit. It's a smallish risk, I think. How much are we in for? Leg up, brake, high or low. Just get up to these heights, and then if it'll work, it's not a massive risk, I don't think. We're getting close to these highs, that's the thing. Oh, that's going to take me out for sure, isn't it? Oh well. Lesson learned. Configure. Tick. So on the 400, let's edit it. No, it's going to take me out that. 500. Not looking what I'm doing. Okay. Apply. Yeah, that's... okay.
Order filled.
It's going to take it out anyway. There we go. Actually, that might be a better option. 2 legs up, lower high. Oh, yeah. Oh, move, you bastard. Okay. We're at the tops here, so I'd expect that to come down. So there's a lower high there. Channel break, new high.
Order filled.
It's coming down quick. So I took it on the, well, a little bit lower than the engulfing, but there we go. Come on, down you come. This looks like it's coming down to retest this. It's tried a bunch of times to get up, so I think that it is a lower high. So we've had a channel break, new high, lower high. This is looking, I'd expect this to come down here. We'll see. I'm just going to put that above there. So that's like a penguin. So we got a leg down here. One attempt to go higher. Second attempt to go higher. Lower high. Failure. Let's be sensible and put it there. New high. Lower high. Push down. Come on. Coming to these lows now, so I don't know whether I want to push it any further. I'll just go for a 1.5, I think.
Target
Okay.
filled.
Couple of ticks. We're at the bottom here, see, so. Okay, wait, let's have a look at this. Yeah, it's not the ideal day to trade today, really. There is a lower high there. But the trouble is it's right in the middle. We bounced right in the middle, so it could just make two attempts to go lower and then push up. I get a point and a quarter, and point and a half. Okay. Okay, I think I'm probably going to knock it on the head there. Way more trades than normal, but we're on an evaluation, so I don't mind taking a few risks. Some of that's a bit silly, to be fair, and that one, but I like that one, and that one as well. So 3 nice trades, I think. It'd be interesting to see what Mac marks, whether he marks those or those. I'd be interested, because I actually really like those. And that one, pretty sure he will. That one, mainly, it worked, so be interesting to see which ones of those he marks. So there you go. So we're up 13.50 for the day. So not a bad day. Let's have a quick look at this oil chart. Let's just shove this one out the way a minute. Okay, well, that's definitely trending, isn't it? Price of oil is definitely moving, and mind you, it's not much, is it? So that's probably a spike in channel, isn't it? Let's join these two together. It might be easier. Yeah. So this is, what is this? Crude, it's crude oil, isn't it? I'm assuming. I'm not sure how the point system works, though, or what the value is of these. So I'll have to have a look at this from now on, because it's always worth trading something else. So that's what you would trade it on the 5. Oh, I've got it on the 400, haven't I? There we go. There's the 500. Trying a sim. Yeah, I'll just put it up here in a sim and just keep an eye on it, just to see if it is choppy here. I mean, this sort of certainly looks better to trade, doesn't it? This really is just a bit choppy, isn't it? You can get a bit damaged on here, I think. So maybe just go from there, yeah. So that looks like a leg and a bit of a correction. Yeah, I'll just keep it up here and have a look for it as we go on. So there you go. That's it for today. So a bit of a bit click and collect-ish today. So it's quite choppy, really, isn't it? 2 attempts to go low and a push up. So that's it today. I'll be back same time tomorrow, back on a PA account tomorrow, so it'd be nice to get back to normal. So trading 1 contract, maximum 1 loss per day. Thanks, Chris, I appreciate that. Maximum 1 loss per day, and then I'll go on to this if that's the case. But I have an issue. I don't have an issue with making money. I can seem to make money, I just can't seem to keep it. If I get 2 losses, it just screws with my head, and sometimes if I take a loss, you too, bud. If I take a loss, it messes with me again. So I think the simple answer is just to take 1 loss and then either go on to an evaluation or onto a sim for the rest of the day. Give me a chance to sort of chill out and relax a bit and just, learn to accept them. But it's quite a choppy day, actually, today. It's working in a what is it, about a 10-point range. So at first glance, but it's actually quite clear. It's readable. I really like that trade. I really like that one and that one. That's stupid. It was a lower high and I expected it to do what it was, but some people will take that as a lower high, and it kind of is. It was level and it came down to where I sort of expected it, but I got in a bit late and it was just a bit, I don't know, a bit silly and a bit jumpy. But there you go, choppy day. Yeah, you lost 600. Ouch. Yeah, it's easy on a day like this, isn't it? Some days, I mean, at quick glance, it'd be interesting to see what Max says, because it is a range day, but there were a few nice setups. That one and that one I really liked, so it'd be interesting to see whether he marks that one as a higher low, possibly, who knows. But there you go, that's it for today. I'll be back same time tomorrow with a PA, so if you're carrying on trading, I hope you get out of this range. Best of luck, take care, stay safe, and I will see you all same time tomorrow. Bye for now.